George Kilpatrick, Inspiration for the Nation. We continue our financial series with our expert, Vicki Brackens, president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corporation, member SIPC, a great supporter of Inspiration for the Nation. We welcome Vicki once again to deconstruct what it is for us to gain wealth. Now, in our first episode, way back when, we talked about the pyramid, and we'll talk about that as well. But first, Vicki, you got something else you want to introduce to us.
You know what, George? I'm thrilled to be back, and I listened, and this is really important that you critique yourself. I listened to our first 2 weeks and realized that I was doing something that I warned my individual guest when I was on financial planning or financial fitness not to do, and that was try and give everybody everything at once.
Okay.
So I hit everyone the last couple of times with what I would call a fire hose, giving you so much information that it may have been a little difficult to try and deconstruct or really hear everything that was there. So I'm going to introduce a couple of new segments that I hope will help with that issue.
Sounds good.
The first one being what I call the term of the week.
Okay.
And the second one, which I know a lot of the listeners will be familiar with, which is what I call the jargon bell. They may remember from the show this sound. I used to use
the show Financial Fitness on WCNY, which you co-hosted. Yes,
exactly. I used to use this bell, which is a bell that I've had for years from the Salvation Army after I served on the board there. And the reason for the bell, and you're going to love this, George, because it's going to put you in charge.
Okay.
The reason for the bell is that anytime I get too far into jargon or too deep into the conversation and we need some clarification, I want you to ring this bell.
Okay.
All
you know
right?
what I'm thinking about now?
What?
Anita Ward. You can ring my bell. Ring my bell.
You may try that at the end. Okay. But going back to what I call the first issue for this week, and that is to recap what we did the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
Really very quickly. We constructed a pyramid, and the reason for the pyramid was to get everyone to focus on the fact that there are stages in your financial well-being.
Yes.
Stages starting out with poor, which we defined as being without resource and without options. The next stage being actually looking at broke, which many of us are because we don't have enough money to meet the month. And we went all the way up this pyramid from poor to broke to stable to prosperous to rich and then wealthy. And we had a distinction between rich and wealthy because richness is about the overabundance of cash, whereas wealthy is cash plus living a purposeful life. And that's what I really wanted to clarify because there was a little confusion at the end from some of the comments that I got and and I was really happy with the comments that we got, by the way.
Right.
But to make sure that we understood it's about the cash plus a purposeful life. So I hope that helps. The second thing was the second week we talked about women and money.
Yes, we did.
And the responsibilities that women have around money because we control in excess of 80 to 85%, in some cases 90% of the financial decisions within a household, particularly when we are inheriting or wealth is being transferred to us.
But not ready for it.
But not ready. And it was the not ready that I wanted to emphasize this week, that we are going to spend some time talking about over the next few weeks how to get ready.
Yeah.
The steps for getting ready. So even though I said we needed more guts and more courage, it wasn't a knock against women. It was saying that we need to step into our roles and take control of those roles as much as we can.
Especially since a lot of that is because women will be forced to make some of those decisions, and we'd rather they be ready.
Absolutely. Okay?
Yeah.
Not only would we rather that they are ready, we need them to be ready because the next generation is counting on it. Our communities are counting on it. Not only just our local nuclear communities, but the community and the economy at large is counting on it.
Looking forward to that. So you got some good stuff for us there.
All right. So I also wanted to spend a little time this week looking at what I would call the purpose of a financial planner.
Okay.
Because there has been some confusion as to, what's a financial planner's role? What do we really do? And this is the easiest thing I can say. For me, as a financial planner, after this now 29-year career, what I have learned is I am a strategic partner with an individual to design strategies and steps for them to accomplish their goals and to point them together in a direction that will bring value to their lives on how to use the tools and systems available to them in the most appropriate way. That's a long sentence.
I'm about to ring that bell, but that's okay. I don't have the bell yet, y'all, but I was about to ring it. There we go. All right, break that down for me, sister.
Right.
Talk to me.
Here we go. Okay. A financial planner, first of all, the word is plan.
Right.
We need a system, a strategy. We need something written and documented that is going to take us from where we are now to where we want to be. Well, if I say where we are now to where we want to be, that's going to require, first of all, understanding where are we now. That comes back to the comment I made last week on getting organized. First step in planning, realizing where you are now. Get organized. Find all of your financial information, put it all together, analyze it, and understand where and what position you stand in right now. Where do I want to be? That is about vision. That's why we talked about everything being connected. What is the vision for the future that you want to accomplish?
Right.
That is not an easy question because we usually answer it on the surface. We really need, and your planner is going to dig with you down to the bottom line of what's important about money to me. And you know what, George, while I'm sitting here thinking about it, I think we may just need to do a segment on that question. So let's write that down for the future.
What about money's important to me?
No, see, you changed the
Did I
sentence.
change it?
You did, and that changes
Talk to
it.
me. Wait.
What's important about money to me?
What's important about money to me?
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. So where we are now is about organization. Where do we want to be is about the vision and the goal. So your financial planner or your planning team is here, first of all, to help you answer those two questions. After those two questions are answered, then what are the steps to get me there? What are the big milestones to get me there? And once those are identified, what are the tools? And many times we confuse the tools with the process. The process is about identifying where we are, where we want to be, and what are the milestones. The tools are my investments.
That's how we get there.
That's how we get there. That's a tool to get you there. It is not the plan. It is a tool to implement the plan. And so if you confuse the tool with the process, then what happens is, as I say, you put the cart before the horse. You need the structure and the strategy, and what financial planning is about that structure and strategy, and a planner is your guide to help you stay and navigate those particular areas on where am I now, where do I want to be, what are the milestones, and how do I apply the proper tools to get there.
Right, because there's a number of different tools, what tools make sense for you, but it's all about that question that you raised earlier.
Exactly.
What's important about money to me?
Very
I wrote
important
it down.
that you said it, and
what's
everyone
important
listening.
about money to me? What's important about money to me? 3 times, class, what's important about money to me? And so people will answer that a number of different ways. I want enough money to do thus and such at the end of my life or in my retirement years, whenever that might be. I want to invest in education for my children. I want to invest in a home or whatever. I want to invest in appreciable assets, whatever that is.
Whatever it may be. But
Right.
That's why I said the vision. We have to understand where we are and what's the vision. And answering that question, what's important about money to me, answers that question. So there isn't, as I said, we'll do the exercise probably together. I'll get you ready for it. Okay.
Sounds
So
good.
we'll do it on air.
Right.
All right. The last thing I really wanted to look at was to make sure everyone understood about this segment, about this investigation that we're doing together online.
Right.
This is not about giving anyone specific advice.
Okay.
I don't know you.
Right.
Okay. So I can't tell you something that specifically may be applicable to you. This is about having you open up your mind and ask the questions, or ask more questions of yourself, to investigate more. As we said in the first segment, possibly you will use Arsenio's term to make you go,
Things that make you go,
so that you will spend time to go out and investigate and get more advice that is applicable specifically to you. So we're speaking in very general terms at this point in time. But when we get to the area of technique and things that we can absolutely dig into specifically, we're going to call that the term of the week.
Okay.
So this week, our term of the week is saving versus investing,
Okay.
and understanding the key difference. I have a website that I love that I would suggest that everyone you start using. And yes, everybody, this is going to be sort of like a class. Here's your homework.
Right.
Please go out to www.investopedia, INVESTOPEDIA.com. It is an amazing website, okay, that will help you dig into a lot of the terminology more after we discuss it here on air. But saving versus investing, what do you think that really means? Why would there be two terms? Because we use them quite often interchangeably.
Right.
But they shouldn't be used interchangeably. The big difference is savings versus investing. Investing dictates risk.
Right.
Saving has no risk associated with it other than the loss of spending power, or what we call purchasing power in the future. We won't dig into purchasing power, but what I want you to understand is that saving means if I put my money into a bank account, a savings account, a CD, there are guarantees associated with that, versus if I am investing because of the nature of what investing is about, which is to get profit. In order to get profit, we must take risk, and that risk has to be appropriate to what your circumstances are. So when we look at saving versus investing, there are steps, just like that pyramid we talked about before.
Sure.
The savings pyramid is the bottom rung, but it is the most important one because it is the foundation. It is the foundation that's going to hold up everything. When you're saving, you are maximizing or looking at your issues of liquidity. How much liquid cash do I have right now if tomorrow morning my employer said we're closing the doors?
Right.
Okay. How much liquid cash do I have if something happens to my family and I need to immediately reach into the coffers to take care of a $5,000 bill? How much liquid cash? What do I have that's available that I have no question that I can get to it in a timely fashion without any concern? That's where you put savings money. So understanding, you're going back to that organizing.
Sure.
Organizing, okay, that step, and looking at what the liquid cash is. Investing, which we'll spend a lot of time on, is about risk, taking risks to make more profit. All right, George, you know what? I'm going to take a breath here. Remind everyone that everything is connected, and ask for a favor from your audience. I need to come up with a theme song for this segment.
Okay.
I would love for you to send George some suggestions.
Okay.
Because we need to hear from you. But George, right now, what I'm going to say is our plate is full.
All right.
That's it for today.
All right, Vicki Brackens, thank you so much for keeping us on track. I got some homework for folks.
Yes, you do.
Here's the homework. First, we want y'all to give us some suggestions about a theme song. You can hit us up on Facebook, email, whatever. However you get a hold of us, you can do that. But secondly, we want you to answer this question for yourself. What's important about money to me? And what is the phone number if people want more information?
315-428-8448.
Very good. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corporation, member SIPC. and they're also a supporter of Inspiration for the Nation. Thank you, Vicki.
Thank you, George.